Oh yeah, I'm gonna call you back. I got something I gotta do real quick. All right. Okay, you will talk to you. Hey, John. How are you?
We just started our show. Sean.
Thanks for coming.
Where have you been?
Huh?
Sean's always the prankster.
Yeah, I know. Always acting like I don't know where I'm at. You know what's annoying? Is like when you're going around the room introducing yourself, and then everybody introduced themselves, the person next to you introduced yourself, and then you go, oh, me? I hate when people do that shit. Like, motherfucker.
You weren't paying attention yet?
No,
Dude,
yeah,
when that happens, I'm not paying attention. I'm all, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? Okay, everybody else is introducing themselves. And
But do you
not listening to a word they're saying.
Pretend like you were surprised that it was your
No,
turn?
I never do. I'm just, maybe I have before. I'm sure.
Yeah,
that seems like something I would do.
That's annoying, John.
Because I'm just so focused on like
what you're gonna say.
Like, yeah, because they're like, say something interesting, and I do this to my students. I'm like, say something interesting, and my students are like, there's nothing interesting about me.
Yeah, that's hard. That's human nature, man.
Yeah.
Like to say good things about yourself.
Not for everybody, apparently, because some
Yeah.
people are like, well, when I was 12, I got a ballet medal or something. I don't know.
And they're in college course introducing themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I hate that, man.
Peaked very early.
People's self-awareness got to be like, you know what I'm saying? You got to have it.
In the middle.
Yeah, you got to have it.
Some people have zero self-awareness.
Yeah.
I think people in power don't have a lot of self-awareness.
Or they feel, yeah.
I mean,
or
they're
like inflated
they don't have,
awareness of themselves.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, I'm pretty great.
Like Strand.
How did you know I was thinking Strand?
Well, because you generally...
I just always think about
this dude.
Tom Strand.
Yeah, but also
I wish we could do
fake as fuck.
Yeah, he is fake as fuck.
I hate that
oh
dude.
fuck! Did I say fuck? Talking about fucking Tom Strand? That
Wait a
fuck
minute. Did we just cuss? Damn it! Oops.
and his little baby ears.
Not like they're not baby ear like sized.
Might be actually. Fuck that guy and his baby ears.
Oh man. So funny, dude. He came to the D11 meeting the other day. And he read some proclamation. Okay, like it's MLK week month.
So
MLK
he
Day's coming.
decided to get.
And he read some proclamation that it's now Martin Luther King Day in Colorado Springs on the 17th or something.
He read that at the school board meeting.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's really particularly weird I'm going to follow through on this. So, one, like, dog, it's 2022, right?
Oh, yeah, it is 22.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Oh, shit. It's 22. And, dude, we're still talking about making proclamations. Like, why wasn't that done in the 80s or some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're celebrating. I hate when people celebrate the first black...
Right.
mechanic to do something like
well,
this.
and I gotta say, and then fucking Tom Strand, the whitest fucking dude, gets up there and does the Martin Luther King proclamation.
And then in a room full of people that are there to protest CRT and equity, funding equity in the district or whatnot. I mean, it was packed in there, man, and it was all about.
Wait, you guys were protesting equity?
Well, yeah. We were protesting what they're doing to it.
Nice.
But, there was a room full of people in there that, like, want to ban, matter of fact, I think banning talking about MLK.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point.
They don't
That's
want to
exactly
talk about MLK in the classroom.
Yep.
But they use this to we're going to proclaim that the 17th is his day. I didn't think about that.
I'm sure Tom Strand is like, because he's like I don't know what his political party is, but a moderate fellow. He wants to like do the right thing and read proclamations.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure he's opposed to like the QAnon folks that are like, we can't talk about race at the school board. Or I'm sure it's more than just.
Yeah, I'm sure he is too. You know what else I noticed too, and I whispered. I told Lil D this because he was sitting next to me at the meeting. White people can put on a blazer with anything and get respect.
Damn, I'm gonna have to try that.
Dog, I'm telling you, if you put a blazer on.
Next time, our next show, I'm wearing a blazer.
On with some fucking, he had on some camping pants and some muddy shoes and shit, and he had a blazer on and shit, just so he could look professional. I'm like,
did they have
and it worked, bro, and it worked. He
the
really
elbow
did it.
pads?
I don't think those was there, but he is the
elbow because it wasn't a
pad
sport guy, it was a blazer, right?
Yeah,
okay.
He is the elbow pad kind of guy. But I would wear one.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
But anyway, it's kind of weird. Like, why? if I did that, it wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Listen,
you should.
I don't know,
dude. From now on, our shooting
Nobody
in
would-
blazers. Not blazers. I don't really like blazers, but
Nah.
like a sport coat.
Yeah, we should give it a shot. Like maybe I could put that on before I say what I gotta say, and then they won't feel
like
threatened.
a magic cloak, sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah. They won't feel threatened.
Oh yeah.
They said I
Like,
threatened
this
the
Sean
board.
fellow seems remarkably reasonable today.
Yeah. The stick that he was speaking of was figurative, not literal.
no,
Oh, I understand.
Wait, what are you saying? What are you talking about?
Oh, so I got a call. So we spoke at the thing and we did our thing, right?
The District 11
At
board
the
meeting.
district board. Yeah, yeah. And,
Watch our episode with Michael Williams to get the down
Yeah, the
low.
down low on there, the last one that we just did, and he was there. He came to organize for this meeting, and we all went out there and showed out. It was really good, man. But at the end, all of this stuff, we've seen this before, right? You go to the city council, you go to the school board meeting, you raise hell, you got this big showing, and they just keep doing what they do.
Yeah. They always
Nothing's
talk about they
changing.
pat you on the head,
Yeah, like,
say
you're
thanks
here.
for talking.
Thank you for coming. So sorry that you're upset. We'll get on it. We're on top of it because you said so.
Yeah, we'll do our due diligence.
Yeah, and then nothing happens, right? So being that we know this, you got to create some sort of turmoil. We talked about this earlier today. You can't say, you can have the most eloquently written speech.
Yeah, totally.
You can have the most well put together strategy to overtake this meeting so that you could dominate the whole time that you're allotted. None of that's going to change unless you can create a turmoil for them that they don't want to have happen. Because there could be things that happen that they're like, man, you just look stupid. You know what I'm saying? But you could create a turn where they have to react to something,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
the
a
way that they
crisis.
react is going to, tip their hand or whatnot. And it's not like a secret strategy. It's not like some thing that we don't know about. Everybody knows that you got to do these things to these people.
In fact, we talked about it at several of our People's College last session.
Right, I learned it at, maybe I did learn it at
Well,
People's
and
College.
also just doing it.
Practice and participation,
exactly.
yeah. But and I know it works, and I know I've seen it work, and I've seen failed efforts too. So, with that said, I told them, because there's somebody outside of this city, outside of this state, somewhere that is affecting what's going on in District 11 school
Yep,
board
yep.
in their run, in their
there is, yep.
in their election or whatnot. And these people are trying to control what the future of D11 looks like. And
People from Monument.
right, that from they're like 45 minutes of highway drive, 45 minutes up. So anyway, they're not here. And they're affecting it. So I'm telling these people on the school board, look, man, you guys are in bed with the devil, but we'll carry the stick, and then it'll be up to you to decide who you're more concerned with turning on you. I meant every word of that. Like, it is very true. And I talked to Jorgensen last night. He came to the teen night. MOI had his first not annual, but we're gonna do that every Friday. But our first teen night in at the Hillside, and he came, and I told him, hey man, listen, I didn't mean the big black guy was gonna jump over and hit you with a stick, bro. And not that he thought that, but somebody there thought that.
Yeah, they were like, this is threatening.
Yeah, that I threatened the board, and he laughed it off, and he knew. But there are things that will happen. For now, the community knows. You know what I'm saying, and they're gonna react to what you don't do or what you do. And
Do very much.
yeah, you do a lot. So make sure that you do something for us, because it's going to be a problem. And the real question is really, and I've said it to all of them too, is that the district that board needs to fund the equity plan.
Yeah, that
going
needs
forward.
to be a real thing.
Yeah, they don't need to kill it. They don't need to they don't need to defund it. They need to let it continue, and that's it. Or the community is going to make you. It's not like, no, we're not doing it and it's over. Nah, that's not how it works. It's not going to work that way for you. It's going to be a very bad problem if you guys kill that equity plan. So,
This is
that's
more
that.
of the anti-democratic
right
shit that's going on in Colorado
it's just
Springs
crazy
lately.
shit, man.
I'm glad you
Crazy
guys
shit.
went.
Yeah, me too, man. I was happy to hear. I was happy about the turnout. I was happy to be accepted the way that it was,
Right.
with the imminent influence and stuff. And it invigorated the group too, man. So Yeah, it's good shit happening right
Yeah,
now,
I
man.
think people
Sumi,
are hyped on it.
be careful. Better leave us alone, man. We're organizing over here. You know, what we thought about, and I'm just gonna say it because there's no reason to hide from it. You know, with the way that the MOI is put together, there's some vulnerabilities there for the law enforcement to take advantage of. Right? We understand that they can start to target us.
Man, why are you giving them ideas?
I don't care. I mean, I do care, but I'm not giving. They do it. It's not like they do it already. So I'm just like, we're thinking of those things, and we're not a soft target for the police, man. And there's no reason to fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? Like we're really doing things for the community and for these kids, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So
how dare you organize gangs to not have street beef with each other?
Exactly, man. You know
how horrible.
That's really what we're doing. So we're really like, don't fuck with us and fuck with our people on this shit, man. Leave us the fuck alone. Cause you won't get it for free. You know, it's not the community's not gonna let you fuck with this group of people for free.
You know, so, yeah. I want to go back to what you were saying too about crisis and Martin Luther King, because as you were talking, I was like, yeah, it is, you know, Martin Luther King Day weekend when we're filming this. I don't know when you're watching it, but it's year 2022, Martin Luther King Day weekend. Yeah. But that's the thing. They want to. When they teach history, this is why this shit's important. When they teach history, they teach this whitewashed, sanitized version of Martin Luther King. And, you know, what's the one thing you always hear every Martin Luther King Day?
Nonviolence.
Yeah, nonviolence. Him speaking at the Washington Monument, or, you know, in Washington, D.C., which was like, it was a great speech. I think we all know that was a great speech. Yeah. But that was just a speech. What Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement and all those other leaders that like get forgotten and ignored and all this shit.
They were radicals.
Yeah, exactly. They were communists. They were gay folks. Like, but they were like, oh, we can't have those people's names out front.
Yeah.
But what they did was created those crises. You know what I'm saying? Like from the bus boycott, that wasn't just a sternly worded letter asking people politely, hey, we really want you to respect our rights as human beings.
No, it was not that.
It's not like the people were like, I never really thought about it that way. You know, every once in a while people might be swayed by that, but there are power benefits by having an underclass. They know this, and the way they changed that was by having a year-long bus boycott in Montgomery, for example, and then the sit-down. Not strikes, the sit-ins and the Woolworths and everything. Those created crises. The business owners freaked out. And I think it's just important for people to remember the not sanitized version of history. Yeah. Because that's what they will be teaching. They will teach us history to disempower us. They will teach us history to make us hate ourselves. And I'm like I think black people have been being taught for so long, like this horrible history. Yeah. They're going to be doing it with every underprivileged, marginalized group, like because that benefits people in power. Like so, we constantly have to be teaching history in the right way, and that's what they're so afraid of. Is if students actually learn history the right way, that they'll know how to
stop it,
fight back against this stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah. And you know, there's a thing like when an abuser sees that the person they're abusing has a way up, like they'll just attack that, like no, hell no. And that, you know, that's what this CRT thing is like. It's it's history, you know. It's like just teaching these kids shit, whoever shit. It might, I don't know who, just teaching the correct stuff and whatever it happened and how it happened. And it's like, nah, that's gonna teach. You can't do that. Abraham Lincoln never told a lie.
Wait, is it Abraham Lincoln or George Washington?
George Washington, no, Honest Abe, right?
Oh yeah, maybe,
yeah, something like that. Yeah. All of that shit's a lie. Yeah, like they lied, they were racist, slave owning, fucking.
Well, and they want to teach us that history is about just like individual moral decisions rather than institutional power arrangements.
Right. So they can see how that shit is. Oh, wait a minute. And eventually, these kids put together. Could you imagine, like, if I was 17 and able to put all that shit together that I put together when I was 35 or something?
Yes.
Like, goddamn it, like, it's, oh shit, who knows what that would have looked like? You know what I'm saying? So really, man, you can see like the powerful striking out with, you know, their weakness. You know what I'm saying? And it's really crazy that like the dumbest of the dumb can feel that. It's like innate. They know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute.
Well, I mean, I think people want to
Like a
protect
dog
their
whistle.
privileged positions.
Yeah.
And people also have
weird.
a fear of change of the status quo. You know what I'm saying? If things are working out for you, like, pretty well, you're going to be like, well, I don't, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's just not advocate for change because that could get bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So the truth is, Martin Luther King was and is a radical.
Exactly.
The things that he did and said were not this. They hated that man.
They seriously
They
did.
hated him.
They had the FBI had a file on him.
Right.
He got killed.
They killed him. That is true. Like, I mean, I'm saying, like, I was thinking in my head, like, they tried to break up his relationship and all of these things. Like, they killed him.
Yeah, the Prince of Peace, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they fucking killed him. They used violence.
The same thing, with Muhammad Ali, like, they hated that dude, man, until he couldn't talk anymore.
Yeah,
when he stopped being able to talk, that's when he
They're
became
like, we
American.
love you, man. Yeah.
He's Kentucky's boy and now. You know what I'm saying? This shit's crazy as hell, man. So anyway, rest in peace to MLK, man. May your true legacy.
Exactly,
live
not
on.
some sanitized legacy. Well, I was about to sneeze, and I realized while I was about to sneeze, I've never sneezed on cam during our show. I'm like, what's going to happen? Is this going to be a
Don't
first?
spit on me, man. It's the Rona. It's the Rona season.
It's always
Everybody's
the Rona
catching
season.
Omicrons, man.
Yeah, it is Omni. People, when people say that, I'm all, is it because they're like making like, because it's everywhere, Omni?
It's like all over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it's going everywhere. But anyway, I've never caught it, man. And
That's-
all it takes is mask and a blunt.
That's good. I just want to point out that there was just an article that came out recently that said that men's penises can shrink from catching COVID.
COVID.
Guys, if you haven't gotten your shot yet, that's a
You need to
good
go get a shot.
reason to go get your
said-
shot.
They was like lose an inch and a half
An inch and a half. That's
off of your. For some of y'all, that's significant.
it's not millimeters.
Inches, son. Inches. So
just saying.
I'm just saying, you got to get the shot.
Like if
Man,
that's something you care about, like I'm not saying everybody has to care about that, but if that's something you care about, that's a pretty good reason to go out there.
Line them up. Hey, what if that? I wonder is that
Dude.
true? Hey, if you have COVID and you're a guy, listen, bro,
Be honest.
you could inbox us and let us know, man. Is it true? Is it true?
Yeah, please do. I want to know.
If it's true, man.
Dude claimed an inch and a half.
Yeah. So anyway, but I also heard a claim
And and impotence causes impotence, erectile dysfunction, whatever we're calling
Yeah, I'm
it.
wondering about after COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like people that caught that shit, are they gonna be fucked up later on? You know
Seems like a lot of people are actually.
I'm wondering. But anyway, yeah, man. So yeah, this is a lot of shit. But though I did hear that if you smoke weed,
That's true. So supposedly 2 compounds in weed can keep you from catching the COVID.
cannabinoids. So what? The cannabinoids lace your lungs. Is what it do. And then as you
They
take
give
each
you a
puff-
mucus protection.
Right. So then when you take your next puff, you're actually reversing the COVID and blowing it back out.
What's funny is I remember I think you and Alex were talking about this one day. And I was like,
man.
because I'd heard this going around, but then this new study just came out saying
Yeah,
that
they started studying it back then, and now they know it's true. The cannabinoid.
some researchers sitting there at
Mucus
home
layer.
one night.
You know
I
what?
think we should check this out, actually.
You can prove it. Yeah. So anyway, hey, God bless the devil's leaf.
The pothead.
Yeah, is it the devil's leaf or
Researchers.
God's leaf? It could be both of their
Yeah, they're
leaves.
both a leaf, man.
Yeah, they're both their
It's
leaves.
actually the yin and the yang.
So, hey, speaking of the devil, bro, what did they do with District 3?
Jesus.
Who is this lady?
Stephanie Fortune. So if you haven't heard about this, Richard Scorman retired from his seat early in District 3. And like Richard Scorman, we had our differences with him, but yeah, I think we all know he was like fairly progressive, and he'd always been a fairly progressive voice on the city council. And he was always
not in practice.
Right. And he was always something, I don't know, I could always talk to him, not always, but generally he talked to me, and I felt respected by him too.
Yeah.
But he retired early to go focus on his business, and so Colorado Springs City Council gets to choose the city council replacement. They'd already done it earlier with O'Malley, and he got reelected. And when O'Malley was chosen, they said for Andy Pico's seat, Andy Pico was like, I like O'Malley. You guys should put him in.
Oh, yeah.
And so they went with O'Malley. And Richard Scorman hadn't said who his preference was until like hundreds of phone calls, emails were sent to city council being like, we don't want Stephanie Fortune. And so finally, and the Gazette did a straw poll with Terry Martinez coming out on top and Stephanie Fortune like way in the back. And so then Scorman came out and said, I don't want Stephanie Fortune. I think Terry Martinez, or I can't remember the other person now.
Right.
I would prefer them. And like people on the West Side, the organization of West Side Neighbors came out and opposed to, in opposition to her. So the first round of votes, they're like, okay, maybe we won't choose her. And then they took a week later, they voted again, and they chose Stephanie Fortune. When she was brought in to the district when Scorman announced that she was retiring, and the fact is she's conservative. She's in the pocket of developers, and that's what they wanted. They want somebody that would represent the wealthy interests,
meaning the city council.
Yeah, and it was such a bald power grab by conservatives too, to just be like, we have an opportunity. The West Side is probably the most progressive part of town. Like Scorman won with nearly 70% in every single precinct because he's always been that progressive voice, and they just choose to put this conservative in, this person that serves the wealthy, basically.
That she should not take it. She should be like, yo, I know the people don't want me there.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had any character in you at all.
But again, this is that thing, we talk about this all the time, like everybody wrote letters.
Right.
People showed up. Yeah, people showed up.
Y'all. But I guarantee you, and then the way that it went down in the meeting, we were doing stuff, and I think Sam told us about it or whatever, but like, it was like funny how the shit happened anyway.
Right.
Like funny style shit, and if the people would have been there.
Not funny haha either.
No.
Funny
like,
fucked up.
Like, wait a minute, they just underhanded some shit right there. What was that just happened? Yeah, man, I hate saying if the people would have been there, but it's true, man.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have
been
able to do that. And if
they would have felt that heat.
Yep.
But
now it's done, and now they're like, okay, the backlash don't mean nothing because we can ignore it. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to worry about it. But if we'd have been there right then, that motherfucker wouldn't have said her name or something.
And I feel bad. Like I just I was like, oh, good. It seems like they're not going to pick Stephanie Fortune, and since I don't have a representative, now I emailed Avila and I was like, hey, about something else, and I was like, thanks for opposing Fortune. I would love to see Terry Martinez in there, but whatever. It's not like if I would have emailed them anyway. And I gotta say, I'm so sick and tired of people being like, you gotta get involved in politics, you gotta do this, you gotta vote, you gotta go to city council meetings, you gotta blah 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 blah. I'm like, we do that all the fucking time.
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
I'm like, we're civically engaged. Like, I can't count the number of times that I've emailed city councilors or called them or showed up to city council meetings or just spoke to them personally. Like, regularly, I'm a civically engaged person. And yet then people get mad when I'm like, that shit's bullshit. You got to do something more.
Yeah.
Get out in the streets, do something, make them feel the heat. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, what's her name at Juneteenth? When she's like, hey, if you're interested in politics, maybe you should join a board or blah, blah, blah.
Shirley Martinez?
No, it wasn't Shirley Martinez. The Danielle Somerville.
Oh, yeah. What was her title?
She's like the diversity person.
Yeah, the equity person in the city.
And she was down at Juneteenth.
With the cop, with his fucking riot and shit, protecting him and shit.
And it's like, fuck you, you don't know shit about what we do to be civically engaged. There's not a rule of how you can be civically engaged. And when you do it that way, and I learned this as an undergrad, as a young person, we had a meeting, they're like, there was a thing that was happening at UCCS, and they're like, well, let's get a meeting together with all the stakeholders. You guys can share your voices. I think I've talked to you about this before. And then they're like, well, thanks for sharing your voices. Peace out. And over and over and over again, every time I've had situations like that, we're like, let's just hear your voises. They listen to your voices, and then they just completely fucking ignore you.
Yeah, go like have a spot of wine.
Yeah, exactly.
And laughing at you.
Exactly. Because they know they can.
Hey, but though, all you gotta do, this is what you gotta do. Next time that they want to hear your voice, take a group of black men with you.
Yeah, because
Then they'll feel threatened.
Implicit racism, yeah.
Yeah.
Or just say, fuck you, Tom Strand. Oh, shit, did I say fuck you, Tom Strand?
His baby ears.
His little baby ears.
Yeah,
Because,
that
you know,
dude.
that was a time we showed up to city council, 3 years ago to talk to them about the budget. And we literally were not allowed to speak at city council because it was I don't know.
It wasn't the working session.
It was the working session.
session.
And yet they kept calling on Niski, Chief Niski. Oh, by the way, goodbye, Niski.
Oh, well, I heard you quit. Little.
Yeah, he
who
is a
almost
little.
called you the. Are we not allowed? We're allowed
We can
to
call
say
him a
it.
little bitch.
You
He is a little bitch. Everybody knows he's a
ass
little bitch.
bitch.
But he kept being able to stand up there and talk. But like citizens couldn't talk.
Yeah.
He could come up there and talk about like why the police needed more money. And like for 3 years now, we've tried to influence the budget.
Yeah. To do the vote. See, that's the thing.
Through
Like, why
engagement, and they just fucking.
Well, yeah. What I
fuck
was
you.
getting at was that, and you know, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. Police can, when the police's budget needs to go through a voting process.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't just be able to go straight to city council and like, ta-da! I need this because, and then they know they're gonna get it. Like,
Well,
that
or our
shit-
city council needs to have a spine.
or that. Yeah, because
But-
then they wouldn't. Then the cops would want to.
Right. But then they stack it and.
Yeah, man, it's all kind of bullshit, man. But anyway, I feel like one Niski, I feel like you should make sure that you stay all the way through the audit, and make sure that you're here to answer for whatever.
Yeah, what's coming out in that audit?
Or take credit for whatever comes out in the audit, because this is your body of work,
Yeah.
and you need to be here your body of work is the reason why the audit was.
And the 3 years that he's been
happened.
police chief, not been great for CSPD.
This dude,
Not been great.
He just put murder. I mean, just allowed people. He cut murderers loose.
Yep.
in Colorado
You know,
Springs, man.
I want to talk to him, ask him why he's quitting. Try
Me
and get
too,
him on the
man.
show.
I wonder if he would come, man.
Why?
We've asked him to come before.
After he's not, like when we asked him to come to the panel at UCCS.
Yeah.
He was like, what?
I didn't know nothing about that. Or the one panel that he did come to where we talked about all of the inequities and shit that's going on in our police department that were like studied by the students at CC.
Oh, yeah.
I keep forgetting that professor's name. But they did the study and he's like, oh, these numbers are fake.
And he was
I don't
so
know if these
dismissive of
numbers
it.
are real.
Yeah.
Man.
And then
fuck
he's like,
you,
it's easy to find information. And it's like, dude, these are smart students. And it's like,
Yeah, it's just
they have a class around it.
In a whole church full of people like, oh, I don't know that this is real. Like, man, you're a bitch, man. I'm so glad. I hope that you choke on a chicken bone. Matter of fact, I hope that something happens where your family don't get your retirement and shit. They don't deserve it. I hope that shit goes back to the people.
Because like all the problems in the police department, if he's like a good leader, right, he should take responsibility for all of
Yeah,
them.
man, don't leave now. Little punk ass. And then this is when they're going to get a black chief watch.
I think they will. Yeah,
honestly,
that's
we're gonna get a black chief
that's
with all of this
another one of our
bullshit. Come on.
2022 predictions.
Yeah, we
They'll
get a black police chief, get a black kid.
or Latino, so they can be like, no, look, this is what we're really trying.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, did you see Southers and all the heads of it was like the sheriff and the DA and the police? They had a press conference the other day to basically complain about the state legislature.
Oh.
And like, oh, they're ruining everything.
Yeah.
Also, the police are also suggesting that the boundary of where so downtown Colorado Springs, you're not allowed to sit, kneel, lay down,
On the sidewalk.
anywhere downtown Colorado Springs, which obviously they don't enforce except for
Unless
fucking
it's a
people
homeless
experiencing
person.
homelessness. Exactly, because it would really infringe on people's First Amendment rights too if they enforced it.
Like, what are you
for
kneeling
protest
for right there?
Yeah, exactly. But they want to expand it all the way down to Dorchester Park. I wonder why they want to expand it down to Dorchester Park.
Oh.
Also, is it because that whole part of South Downtown is getting gentrified and they want to make sure that they can...
Redeveloped?
Yeah. So, like, obviously...
those people are just going to disappear.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the police are suggesting this, but it's like, obviously, this is like one of those cases where it's like the police are obviously doing the bidding for people in power because they know that there's not going to be... They can't get these gentrified developments down south of downtown if people are living on tents in the street.
Yeah.
But it just pisses me off because, law enforcement pretends like they're like, we're just there to enforce the law, but over and over and over again, they bring forward laws that they want city council to adopt.
To do, I'm trying to look up right now. Oh, that meeting is on the 25th.
It is on January 25th.
And I think we need to be at
Yeah,
that.
we do. Because I'm just like, how so much of city council's policies are just geared at making life more difficult for people experiencing homelessness.
Yeah. So inside the comments, we'll put all of the emails for all of the people in there: Donaldson, Helms, Hingham, Murray, O'Malley, Strand, Williamson, and now.
Yeah, email them opposing this. I mean,
Fortune.
right, Fortune.
To
Yeah.
watch what her.
I mean, it's so fitting
does.
that her last name is Fortune.
Right.
Right.
You're rich, mother. Yeah, man. Anyway, so yeah, that so it's like one thing after the next. These fucking capitalist pigs are like make you fight on 100 different fronts,
Right.
and you already don't even have the resources to like take care of your own shit. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well,
it's
then
cool, man.
you go into the streets and they're like, we've made it illegal to do it. And
Yeah.
by streets, I mean streets,
The
sidewalks,
street,
parks,
yeah,
whatever,
like you
everything.
can't be here. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And we'll enforce it with just whoever we want to. Like, if you're a white lady that bends down to tie your shoe, or you feel faint and you need to sit down for a minute,
It's fine.
you're okay.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
your ass better not be carrying your fucking house with you in your tent
exactly.
and your sleeping bag, because
Then
then your ass
we'll
is
pick
out of
on
here.
you. Yeah, totally.
So,
Sure.
man,
So, yeah,
that shit
email
pisses
your
me off,
counselors
dude.
about
It makes
that,
me
yeah.
want to start, this is where I get to spitting in mothers' faces and stuff.
Well, it's just, I'm like, I can't believe what a fucking, like, city council of all of our political leadership are just bullies, it seems like, in this
Yeah.
town. Which I don't understand, because I gotta say, Colorado Springs, great city. Great people in Colorado Springs. Like, there really are, like,
They're not
great
representing the
community.
people.
They're really not, because Colorado Springs, like, there's a lot of decent folks here that have, like, good values. They're not bullies. Obviously, there's some dickheads out there,
Right.
but the city leadership are just so overwhelmingly, like,
Not
bullies
representing
and not exactly.
representative of the community, man. Like, and you brought it up too. Like they snatch and grabbed the. I think the West Side is the most progressive part of the city. You know what I'm saying?
The
And,
West Side and then South Side, probably.
yeah,
those are the two.
they snatch and grab that shit and did it on purpose, man.
Yep.
So anyway, we got to figure something out. I think that the main thing in front of us is that the January 25th for the homeless ban, and then man, shit, the next city council stuff is 23. You know what I'm saying? It's
Vote those bums out. I
shit
guess we could try
together
that.
this year.
Then
Yeah,
that's my
we
thing.
need
We
to
just got to
practice.
try everything.
Yeah.
We got to try every single tactic that there is.
Yeah, man. In your district, there's places, there's cities in this country that they have to have somebody lined up to run for their seat again, so they don't lose it. You know what I'm saying? Because if they lose it, then it's gone. So like, once you grab a seat, like,
make sure that you
it
have.
has to. Somebody has to be next to tag team. Like, boo,
Yep.
okay, everybody's
Coming in.
voting for
Yep, yep.
such and such, and get a tag team. Boo, everybody's voting for her this time, and that's how we
Also, I guess
maintain the shit.
That part of it is because they're not allowed to vote on replacements here, apparently. So
Right, yeah.
we should change
law,
that.
man.
Like,
yeah,
if
Les
somebody
was just talking about that too. Like,
Yeah.
that shit needs to get changed, man. Like, what was it? How does it go? Like, the replacement needs to have a, what do you say?
it should be voted on
like a
by the
60-day special
population.
vote, yeah.
It should be voted on rather than be picked by the city council. Because as we've seen, it's just a way for city councils to stack.
Yeah, to
themselves.
stack themselves. Yeah, man. So I don't know how we change that, but we need to change that. Is that statewide?
It's just, I'm sure, city. We have home rule, so yeah, it says
Also,
city.
we
We
need to
could
get the city
change
council
that. Yeah,
that
we'd have to
is
change
stacking
exactly.
themselves to unstack
Yeah, this is what I was
themselves.
saying. Well, I don't know how this is any different from, like, everybody's complaining about, like, the anti-democratic forces in Trump, but I'm all, it's right here locally too.
Yeah, it's like China.
At least China builds fast trains.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
what?
like
If we had fast trains
people might not be so upset with this shit. Like,
and doing something about COVID,
Yeah, like they're not walking around ducking Omicron right now. I'm telling you that shit. They're building their economy in Africa.
yeah,
Anyway.
spreading out their tentacles.
Yeah, they're like-
yeah, we have the worst of both worlds. We have the authoritarianism and not the benefits
Yeah, that's
of.
what happens when you deal with dumb racists. Like, dumb racists do dumb things. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Or bigots or
Yeah, exactly,
whatever.
because they're just like,
They do
yeah,
dumb
look at the
shit.
South.
Yeah. Just
They kept themselves
light
underdeveloped
year-
because, yeah.
the light years behind the whole planet. Like, America's already not that smart, and you're not even a smart American.
Although, Colorado's bad with education funding. We're like
Yeah,
close to the last nation.
they're,
if not
they're
the
even
last.
worse than us.
Like
That's
Mississippi,
bad,
yeah. I don't know, actually.
Stupid racist. I don't know. I'm just saying that. All right,
All
guys.
right.
Feels good.
That does feel good.
We'll see y'all.
Yep.
We got a. What's going on next week? Or this? We got a show already coming up, and then this
Yeah, we
one's
got our
coming after that?
predictions and
Yeah. Oh, the prediction show.
yes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
but maybe it already happened. Who knows? Let's
Who knows?
see.
You gotta let us know if you've watched it. All right,
All
guys.
right.
Appreciate it, man.
Peace out, everybody.
Yeah, all power.